Hello students, in previous video we have seen crystalline and amorphous solids, their characteristics and examples. In today's video we are going to discuss about classification of crystalline solids. Depending upon constituent particles present in the crystal lattices, crystalline solids are of different types, and these types we have to discuss about. First, ionic solids. Characteristics of ionic solids. Constituent particles in ionic solids are oppositely charged ions, means cations and anions. Cations and anions may differ in their size. Generally, cations are formed from metallic atoms by loss of valence shell. But in case of anions, one or more electrons are added into the valence shell of an atom of the non-metal. As cations are formed by destruction of valence shell, generally cations are smaller than those of anions. Second, cations and anions. Cations are positively charged and anions are negatively charged. These cations and anions in crystalline solid or in ionic solid are bonded by means of electrostatic force of attraction. It is also called Coulombic force. Cations and anions are bonded by means of electrostatic force of attraction or Coulombic force. Crystalline or ionic solids are hard and brittle. And have high melting and boiling points. High melting and boiling points. And fourth characteristic, ionic solids are non-conductors of electricity. In solid state, when dissolved in water or fuse above their melting point. Ionic crystalline solids can be explained with the help of these characteristics. First, in ionic solids, constituent particles are approximately charged ions, that is cations and anions. And these cations and anions in ionic solids are bonded by means of electrostatic force of attraction or Coulombic force. Ionic solids are hard and brittle and they have high melting and boiling points. And fourth characteristic, ionic solids are non-conductors of electricity in solid state, but they are good conductors of electricity when dissolved in water or fused or molten above their melting points. Examples: examples of ionic crystalline solids, different salts such as NaCl, K2SO4, CaF2, calcium chloride, KCl. These are some examples of ionic crystalline solids. Now, next point we have to discuss about covalent network solids. B. Covalent network solids. Characteristics of covalent network solids. First, constituent particles in covalent network solids are atoms. And these atoms in covalent network solids are linked together in a continuous network of excessive covalent bonds. Forming a single giant molecule. Atoms in the covalent network solids are linked or joined together in a continuous network of covalent bonds forming a single giant molecule. and the entire crystal of network solid is a giant molecule. Third, because of rigid and strongly bonded structure, covalent network solids are hardest and are incompressible under pressure and have high melting and boiling points. Diamond is the hardest material or giant molecule. And fourth, covalent network solids are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Heat and electricity due to absence of mobile electrons. Here, covalent solids can be explained with the help of these characteristics. Constituent particles in covalent network solids are atoms, and these atoms in covalent network solids are bonded together in a continuous network of excessive covalent bonds, forming a single giant molecule. The entire crystal is nothing but giant molecule. Because of rigid and strongly bonded structure, covalent network solids are hardest and they are incompressible under pressure. They have high melting and boiling points. Diamond is the hardest material present in the form of giant molecule. Fourth, covalent network solids are poor conductors of heat and electricity due to absence of mobile electrons. All the electrons are angled in covalent solids in covalent bonds. No free electrons are present and therefore they are poor or bad conductors of heat and electricity. Now examples. Examples of network solid: diamond, graphite, quartz, carborundum, boron nitride. These are some examples of network solids. Next type we have to discuss about third, molecular solids. Characteristics of molecular solid. First, now here constituent particles in molecular solids are molecules. Second characteristic, the atoms within a molecule are bonded by means of covalent bonds. But molecules in molecular crystalline solids are held together by means of various intermolecular physical forces of attraction. Physical forces of attraction. What are these physical forces? Weak dipole interactions in polar molecules like solid HCl, H2O, SO2, which possess permanent dipole moment. Now because of difference in electronegativities of the atoms in these molecules, shared electron pair of the covalent bonds is shifted more towards more electronegative atom. As a result, less electronegative atom acquires partial positive charge and more electronegative atom acquires partial negative charge. For example, HCl, hydrogen has positive charge and chlorine has negative charge. And because of such dipoles, permanent dipoles, these molecules are held together, and this is first physical force of attraction. Second, weak dispersion forces or random forces in non-polar molecules like solid CH4, ammonia, methane, H2, neon, neon, etc. These molecules are non-polar, CH4, H2. Argon, neon, these are inert gases. They are monoatomic molecules. All these are linked by means of weak dispersion forces or random forces at room temperature. C. Intermolecular hydrogen bonds in solids like ice. Ice means H2O, solid. NH3, ammonia, HF, etc. Weak van der Waals forces of attraction also hold these molecules in molecular crystalline solids. Now examples for fourth property, you can have a third property. Because of weak intermolecular attractive forces molecular crystalline solids molecular crystalline solids are usually soft and have low melting and boiling points. And fourth property, molecular crystalline solids, molecular crystalline solids are poor conductors of electricity, and are good insulators. Here examples: H2O solid, it is ice. Solid CO2, solid CH4, solid O2, etc. are examples of molecular solids. Now we revise these points once again. Molecular solids are explained with the help of these four characteristics. First, constituent particles in molecular crystalline solids are molecules, and these molecules are held together by means of very weak physical forces of attraction, such as weak dipole-dipole interactions in polar molecules like solid HCl, solid H2O, solid SO2, which possesses permanent dipole moment. And second type of physical force, weak dispersion forces or Bernoulli forces in case of non-polar molecules like solid CH4, solid H2, argon, neon, etc. And third type, intermolecular hydrogen bonds in solids like ice, ammonia, HF, etc. Third property, because of very weak intermolecular attractive forces, molecular crystalline solids are usually soft and they have low melting and boiling points. Fourth point, molecular crystalline solids are poor conductors of electricity and they are very good insulators. Examples of molecular solids are solid water, that is ice, solid CO2, it is also called dry ice, solid CH4, solid O2. Now, fourth type we have to discuss about, last type, metallic solids. Correct. Now here, crystalline solids formed by joining atoms of metallic elements in their crystal lattices by means of metallic bonds are called metallic solids. Now here, formation of metallic bond. Metallic solids are formed when metallic atoms are bonded by means of metallic bond. What is metallic bond? The attractive interactions between metal cations, they are called kernels. And mobile electrons which hold together in the crystal lattice of metal. This is called metallic bond. The force of attraction between metal cations and mobile electrons which hold number of metal atoms together in the crystal lattice of metal. It is called metallic bond. Now formation of metallic bond can be explained. On the basis of electron C theory. Electron C theory. Now here you can see metals are highly electropositive elements because of very few electrons, either 1, 2 or 3 electrons in their valency. They are unable to complete their octets by gain of electrons, and therefore to obtain a stable electronic configuration of their nearest inner gas elements, these metal atoms prefer to lose their valence electrons, and therefore depending upon valency, all the atoms in the metal crystal lattice lose their electrons, forming metal cations. This is metal crystal lattice in which all the atoms have loosened their valence electrons, and these electrons are given. This is about monoatomic metal or monovalent metal. Once all the atoms in the crystal lattice of metal lose their valence electron, suddenly number of 3 electrons remain available in the crystal lattice which move here and there, and depending upon valency, here in case of monovalent element number of cations and number of mobile electrons are same, but in case of divalent metal, per cation 2 electrons are lost. That means double number of valence electrons in comparison of positive ions are present in the crystal lattice. As valency of metal goes on increasing, number of free electrons in the crystal lattice goes on increasing, and suddenly a sea of electrons is formed in the crystal lattice in which metal cations or they are positive centers called kernels seems to be floating in the sea of electrons. This is electron sea. Now once every atom sees number of mobile electrons moving around it tries to attract these mobile electrons again towards itself. If at least one electron comes in between two cations, both these cations tries to attract this mobile electron towards themselves by equal strength. Indirectly, these metal cations attract one another. In this way, a force of attraction is created between two metal cations because of presence of at least one mobile electrons between them. It is nothing but metallic bond. A force of attraction between cation and mobile electron which holds number of metal cations together in the crystal lattice. It is called metallic bond. In this way, on the basis of electron C theory, formation of metallic bond can be explained. Characteristics of metallic elements. Characteristics of metallic solids. First, metals are malleable. That means when metal pieces are hammered, actually in the crystal lattice of metal, number of sheets are arranged one over another in this way, and they are bonded with one another by means of metallic bonds. Metallic bonds are stronger as compared to ordinary chemical bonds, and therefore metals are very hard and they have high melting and boiling points. Now, first property we are discussing about, metals are malleable, means when metal sheets or metal pieces are hammered, some of the metallic bonds between these layers get broken, and these layers shift one over another, they slide one over another, and finally they get converted into a thin sheet. Property by which metals when hammered get converted into thin sheets, it is called malleability. Metals are malleable because of metallic bonds and free electrons. Second property we are going to discuss about, metals are ductile. Metals are ductile. What is ductility? When a piece of metal is stressed in opposite directions, a pressure shearing force is applied on the metal piece in opposite direction. What happens again? These layers get shifted on one or another, and finally they get converted into wire. Property of the metals by which metals or wires can be drawn from metals by applying shearing force, it is called ductility. Third property we have to discuss about, metals have high melting and boiling points. High melting and boiling points due to presence of strong metallic bonds. And fourth property, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Heat and electricity due to presence of number of mobile electrons. If metal piece is heated, these are mobile electrons present in the crystal lattice. If one piece of metal is heated, this heat is absorbed by mobile electrons and these mobile electrons start moving from hot end to cold end. That means due to the presence of mobile electrons, these metals are good conductors of it. Again, if you connect a metal piece between negative and positive terminals of the battery and if electric current is passed, what happens? Electrons entering from the circuit into the metal piece undergoes collisions with three mobile electrons already present in the crystal lattice. Number of successive collisions takes place between the mobile electrons and mobile electrons move from negative electron to positive electron through metal piece. That means due to the presence of mobile electrons, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Now examples. Sodium, potassium, calcium, lithium, iron, zinc, copper, aurium means gold, silver, mercury. Number of examples of metals or metallic solids you can cite. We revise these points once again. Metallic solids are formed when metal atoms are bonded by means of metallic bond. What is metallic bond? The force of attraction between metal cations and mobile electrons which held number of metal atoms together in the crystal lattice of metal. It is called metallic bond. Formation of metallic bond can be explained on the basis of electron C theory. According to electron C theory, metal crystal lattice contains number of mobile electrons freely moving around the metal cations which are steady in the crystal lattice, and due to the oxidation of metal atoms in the crystal lattice of metal, suddenly a sea of electrons is formed in which metal atoms, although they are stationary, they seems to be floating in the sea of electrons. And when these mobile electrons come in between two metal cations, both the metal cations start attracting these mobile electrons towards themselves. Indirectly, every two metal cations attract one another. In this way, all the metal cations in the same metal atoms are held together by means of metallic bond. Now, characteristics of metallic bonds depends upon number of mobile electrons and metallic bonds formed. First, metals are malleable because when metal pieces are hammered, due to the production of heat, some of the metallic bonds between the layers of the metal are broken and these layers become slippery. They slide one over another, and finally metal piece is converted into thin sheet by hammering. This property of metal to get converted into sheet by hammering is called malleability. Metals are malleable. Metals are ductile. Ductility is the property by which wires can be drawn from the metal pieces by applying shearing force on the piece in opposite directions. Third, metals have a high melting and boiling point due to the presence of strong metallic bonds. Fourth, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity due to the presence of mobile electrons. When one end conveyed from hot portion to cold portion through metal easily because of convey of heat by mobile electrons moving from one end to other end. Metals are good conductors of electricity. When metal piece is connected between two terminals of battery and electric current is passed, electrons undergo successive collisions, and in this way three electrons move from one end to another end. By doing so, metal pieces conduct electricity. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Number of examples of metals: alkali metals, sodium, potassium; alkaline earth metals, calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper, gold. Many such examples you can cite. Today we have seen different types of crystalline solids. Next time we will discuss about crystal structures. Thank you.